Well, y'all, we made it.
What did we make? Did we make cookies? Because I gave up cookies for the Biden administration.
On TV, they keep saying we made it. So I guess we made it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do say that. I don't know what they're making, though. Are they making snacks? You know, I gave all that up for, not snacks, but the sweets for Biden.
No, I didn't. I'm sitting there looking right there at my candy dish, like ready to attack.
You're like an old grandma. Can I just say that? You have like the Werther's. You have the Werther's butter snot. I didn't know that was a black thing too. I thought it was just like an old Jewish thing. It's
no, it's a black thing.
Yet another thing. Our people share suffering.
Yeah, like we like and fingery things when someone comes into the home. Well, first of all, hey y'all, it's ImmaLetYouFinish. It's Courtney Amy.
We always forget that part.
We always forget that part. We always forget to say, hi, it's us. We're back.
Hi, it's us.
I have a bowl that has gummy stuff. Right now it has gummy twin snakes in it, which are sour, gummy bears, and sour gummy Starburst.
Okay, not for nothing. I think we should preface this by saying that you smoke weed, so that's part of it.
And then in the refrigerator, because you know it's hot because of the heat, I have Snickers minis.
Okay. Can I also say that I have never met anybody over the age of 10 who comes into a house and goes, you know what I really want right now? A gummy snake.
Well, let me just tell you something. When I could have guessed, that candy dish was a hit.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm also assuming that you, like all smart shoppers, buy your candy the day after Halloween because it goes down in price.
Well, I also, like, you know, the Haribo always goes on sale, so I buy a bunch of Haribo stuff. And right now, Dwayne Reed is 2 packages for $2 if you've got your Walgreens card. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I like a discount.
Oh, I love a discount. Are you kidding me? That's why I have a Target credit card. I've had it for years. I was like, oh, my God, you get the discount, you get the Target sale. Oh, my God, we sound like our mothers.
Right, exactly. Speaking of our mothers, Joe Biden was inaugurated last week.
All right, you know what? One day I'm going to make a blooper reel of your pathetic segues and then add my pathetic segues. Speaking of our mothers, it was a tsunami today.
Mine are always crazy. We'll be talking about some serious shit, and I'm like, so Greta put out an album.
Yeah.
It's all dance beats.
Yeah. Speaking of the Holocaust, do you know that Kylie has a new single out? What?
I know. I really have to work on the segues. I'm like, and speaking of that.
I think, or what you have to do is you have to do a disclaimer. You have to say, I'm about to do a really bad segue. You have to be, because you do sound a lot, though, like Eyewitness News, where they talk about a fire and then they go, a puppy was found in a tree today.
And then next up, we're going to be cooking a fresh cranberry treat for Thanksgiving. It's very nice.
All right, Joe Biden, he's president. Yay.
Yeah, he's president. Kamala is vice president.
Yay.
Sonia Sotomayor fucked up her name. I was
hey, like, whatever, you know.
No, but I'm like, no, it's not whatever. You had one job.
Yeah, she was nervous. How many times do you think people have fucked up Sotomayor?
Yeah, but except she's being but it's been such a thing around people fucking up her name, like you know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, it was a blip, but in the scheme of things, I am just so grateful to have, first off, to look up there and see, wow, every adult on stage who is married to each other appears to like each other. What a concept.
Right.
And look, those children look like they're not there as tax shelters. They appear to like, everyone appears to like each other. That's refreshing. That's refreshing. And after that inauguration, this is so fucking shallow, but I don't care. I want a jewel-toned, cloth-fitted coat. And that's all I want to say.
Well, you know, I came out of it.
And I have the body for it, Court.
Right.
I'm tall. I can pull it off, and I have a decent weight for a woman my age.
Yeah, you do, actually. You're in good shape. Yeah, you're in good shape.
Well, I want to fit tidily into my coffin.
You can absolutely, because you're tall, you can actually wear like a Miu Miu coat like that. Wasn't that a full moment? She came out.
Well, the Miu Miu, the girl? Yeah. But I'm talking about, Kamala's coat.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Jill's coat.
Dr. Jill's coat. And then, of course, you know, Michelle Obama came out looking like, oh, but she always does. She doesn't have an off day.
That
so
was just kind of, right. I feel like she came out and it was like, everybody just gasped. It was like,
and
it's almost like, it's like
great.
no one's even talking about the fact that Barack was there with her. Do you notice?
Yeah, who cares? It's like whatever. Who cares? It's like, oh, him. Oh, the guy that was president.
It was very much like, oh, him. Look at Michelle. We were also starved for it.
No, she looked like she was going to walk through a tunnel and smoke was going to come out. No, I mean, really, I just like, you know what? Look, we're all joking. We're joking about this, but it was just such a relief to sit there and go, even if he fucked up the speech, he wasn't going to say anything where we'd be like, American Carnage? Right. What does that mean? Is that the name of a video game? Right. That sounds really, it was just, the grown-ups are back in charge. The grown-ups are back in charge.
And I have something I want to say, because I do have some Republican friends. You know, I have friends of all of them.
Why?
Well, because we're real people. And I have to say, I have Republican friends who, that was never an issue until Donald Trump came in office. And then all of a sudden,
you're a better man than I am.
Well, people started drawing battle lines in the sand. Like, we didn't have these fights about who believes in what. And we just didn't have. And all of a sudden, I just want to say to them that it is time for them. And I love y'all. I love all of y'all. And I know we have some people, Republicans, who listen to this show.
Yeah, snap out of it.
Listen, I think it is time for you guys to start holding your guys accountable for your anger. It's like the fact that every time I see somebody saying something about, well, there's 74 million people who voted for Trump, and they're really angry. And it's like, well, you know what? If you are that angry, under 4 years of Republican leadership. That means your leadership failed you. You've had 6 years of the Republican-run Senate. They have been making your policies. They have been filling all the judge seats, not just the Supreme Court, all of those federal judge vacancies that have been filled. I'm still trying to figure out why you keep blaming the other side when you're this angry under your own leadership. Don't try to call for it saying that accountability is only going to now stoke the flames and we need unity. It's like, guess what? You guys have been barbecuing on those flames for 4 years. Now that it is time to clean the grill, you do not get to turn around and say...
The metaphors are flying here.
You know, but
what do you do with your vegetarian? How about your vegetarian?
I'm trying to make a serious point, though.
Sorry.
Because I think it's really serious how when it comes time to say we have to hold somebody accountable for some really horrible shit, it's like, this is just terrible. When they have literally created these flames for 4 years. It's you guys look at your people and say, you know what? Yeah, I don't fuck with the Democrats, but what you guys done for me, because I was angry for 4 years under you and for 6 years under the Senate. So you have to turn to your people too and hold them accountable. I'm not thinking, like Amy and I talk about this all the time. We don't think suddenly there's Democrats and we're all going to be Shangri-La. There's a lot of fucked up shit. We've always known there's a lot of fucked up shit and racism in this country. But at least now, Amy, when I wake up, I don't feel like there's 40 tweets and winks to white supremacists and pulling out the worst of everything.
Well, the white supremacy, that's not going anywhere, unfortunately.
Well, no, and it's always been here. But there's not somebody from the White House being like, stand by and stand tall, or whatever it is, and all those nods to them, you know, on a daily basis.
No, it'll just come from somewhere else. But that said, you're a better man than I am because I cannot be friends with people who support Trump, full stop.
Right.
And that necessarily is not a Republican. But I cannot, because to me, I am not 100% a Joe Biden fan. I have my issues with Joe Biden. I have my issues with every politician. I had my issues with Barack Obama. He didn't walk on water. He did a lot of fucked up shit.
Yep.
But that said, I cannot, to me, and then I'm, whatever, because I don't, but there's no justification for supporting Trump. I don't care how good the stock market is.
Listen, I don't understand it at all. I think some people are just, I'm a Republican.
No, I understand it. I understand it completely.
Yeah.
I understand it completely. It's not policy.
But to me, he's a deal breaker because I don't even see him as a Republican. I see him as an opportunist. He will do whatever. He will say whatever. Oh, you like me over here? That's where I'm going.
All right, hold on.
What? What happened? Is it Oprah?
Can you hear me? Okay, something.
Oh, yeah, I totally hear you. Nothing changed.
All right, something on this end. All I'm going to say is he's gone. Ding dong, the witch is sleeping right now. I don't want to even. I'm very happy not to hear his name on a daily basis.
Right.
And I'm just eagerly waiting for whatever happens next. So the inauguration for me was, I had a little tear welling moment.
Me too.
I was, and I am as critical and cynical as the next, but I was not in the mood for social media's bitching and complaining about this one singing or that one singing.
Yeah, right.
I was very happy to see the idea of, Trump is the only president I can think of in recent memory that did not have a poet laureate come out. And I think there's something very affirming about someone coming up who's creating art for the moment.
Yep.
But his idea of art was like, beauty is truth, Trudy is beauty, Rudy toot toot, Rudy toot tootie. So,
his idea of beauty was, I have the largest crowds ever. Like.
No, but I would, like I said, I thought that considering the circumstances, the restrictions they were under, what had gone on.
Great.
I thought they did a great job. The weather, I thought Amy Klobuchar was a wonderful, host. I don't know what her title or official title was. But it did what I needed it to do. I didn't walk away terrified.
No, I got to tell you, I was really surprised by Amy Klobuchar. I was like, wow, I thought her remarks were great. And I will say that for not having the normal crowds and the normal parade, I thought it was really great. I thought the concert at night was great. I thought Lady Gaga was spectacular. She was spectacular. I love
she was
her.
Great.
I love when Theater Gaga shows up. You know what I mean? And in all honesty, I didn't think Jennifer Lopez was terrible. Did I appreciate putting Let's Get Loud in there? No. I understood why she did it. But I didn't think she was terrible, I appreciate her singing the song of a communist. I like that.
Because Woody Guthrie was an unabashed communist, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate her singing in Spanish. And while we have our issues with Jennifer Lopez as a performer, I think that she is on the low, maybe is super duper liberal, and I'm on the low for that. Because I don't, whatever you want to say about, somebody was like, oh, Lizzo should have been up there, whatever. You know what? Jennifer Lopez and Gaga have been in the trenches campaigning for these fucking people. So this is your payoff. You get to get invited to the party when you've brought an entree. I didn't even hate Katy Perry singing Firework. And, I always hate Katy Perry. She sounds like three seals fighting under a blanket. But that whole moment with the firework, bless her heart, behind her, and the Tom Brown outfit, and she was giving you a severe bun. I was like, okay, I'm into it. I don't get her, but bless her heart. That's all I gotta say about Katy Perry. Let me just tell you something. That is when an older Southern black lady says that. It's it has a particular connotation. No, and I mean it. I mean it in the same way. Yeah, I know you do. Bless her heart. That poor sweet thing. Let me take up there. She's just thinking she got talent. No, bless her heart. Let me take a sip of my unsweet coffee and pretend it's sweet tea. Whatever. All right, moving onward. Onward. So Larry King died. Okay, again, Here's what I'm going to do for you. I know your birthday's in the summer, but I am going to write you a list of perfectly acceptable and yet still edgy segues. Because you, OMG.
Well, at least I didn't start with Hank Aaron. Or Phil Spector. I started with Larry. Let's just go into Larry. Because Larry is someone, let's just face it.
I thought he was dead.
I mean, I thought.
Sorry, and that's no disrespect. I mean, he was great. He's a great broadcaster. As someone who has done interviews for most of their professional career, it is a very fine line between making yourself the subject and keeping in mind that you are the subject, especially when you're on TV and everyone can see you. Do I remember all? He's been off the air for so long.
But he's got Larry King now. He has his talk show. I watch a lot. I still watch it. He still gets the top people on that show. No, to me, no one could interview somebody like Larry King.
No, he's good. He could switch back and forth between pop culture and politics, and you didn't realize how great he was until that odious Piers Morgan took over.
Right, and it lasted for 2 seconds. And I think Larry said it best. He was like, about his interviewing style, he said, listen, I never learned anything during an interview by listening to myself talk. It's about letting the other people talk and tell the story. Yeah,
and
he did that really well.
Yeah, R.I.P. to him. Certainly someone who, he wasn't Edward R. Murrow, but he was certainly somebody who was probably, I would say him and Dan Rather, two of the premier interviewers of our time. So, all right, which, you want to make it?
and then the legendary Hank Aaron passed away at 86.
Oh, well, there's nothing, come on. There's nothing, what could we possibly say about the guy other than like a portrait in grace and talent and integrity and, you young people, you know how you like to call everybody an icon and they're not. That's an icon, right there. That's a legend, right there. Right. It's not your people who are coming out with their second album and you've liked 4 outfits. No, and also there will be no asterisks next to his name with the home run.
Nope. It all works for civil rights and everything, on and off the field. A class act. Yeah. And who else are we going to trash? Not trash, Phil Spector. The Phil Spector one, okay. I'm just going to briefly say what I have to say about Phil Spector. Mm-hmm. Phil Spector also passed away about 10 days ago. I thought he was already dead, Joe.
Well, he was in jail. Same difference. Mm-hmm. His hairline was dead. Look, all joking aside, Phil Spector was a monstrous human being. He was abusive physically and verbally. He killed somebody. He killed a woman named Lana Clarkson. Lana Clarkson, who was an aspiring actress. So he's a bad person. We will just full stop start that. That said, he changed the sound of pop music with the wall of sound, which is basically multi-tracking, having not one string musician, but 10 string. But he used to call it, he was creating symphonies for teenagers. There is no, let's go down the list, Beatles, Beach Boys, anyone who's making a sound bigger
Darlene Love.
Well,
There's no love with that.
Well,
but remember, she sang and did but she, all of those records and all of that.
Right, and she has her issues with, obviously, and Ronnie Spector and the Ramones. But my point is that I think it is capable with Phil Spector to say garbage human being, but you cannot pretend that he didn't. You can't pretend that he didn't have an impact. You can't pretend that he didn't have an impact, but he was a garbage, full stop, garbage human being. And so it is, seeing as how he had not made any music in 25 years or so, maybe a little bit less.
The last album was, he did something in the aughts. He did.
Phil Spector? I thought he was in jail.
Yeah, he did. No, before he went to jail, he did.
All right. And he was the subject of a Law and Order episode, so. It was sort of a combination between him and Brian Wilson, kind of like the crazed genius. But anyway, so, in varying degrees of importance, but three deaths of people who certainly shaped. Listen, Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" is an homage to Phil Spector.
Absolutely.
To the point where I thought it was a Phil Spector.
Absolutely, that's true. That's true.
All right, I'll let you clumsily segue.
Well, speaking, coming back from the dead, hey, that's a better one.
Oh, yeah, it is better. It is good.
We have a dynasty.
Oh, okay. All right, listen. Okay. The Knicks, how many have won in a row? Dynasty. If every other NBA team goes down in a plane, all right, plane crash is a little severe.
Let's not do that.
If every other gets, okay, basically, how many have they won in a row now?
Well, no, they've lost the last two. They lost last night by 3 points to the Trailblazers, and they lost on Friday night. But they had won 3 in a row before that. They beat the Golden State Warriors.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
They beat Boston, which always makes me happy.
Oh, everything. I hate Boston.
But no, the Knicks are actually playing some good. Tibbs kind of is pulling this team together.
We actually care about them. Let's put it this way. If you can just close your eyes and not look at those uniforms, and I have to say, and you and I have discussed this, maybe it's just whatever. I do enjoy a Martin Luther King Day basketball game. I love the fact that the NBA decides to honor Martin Luther King by putting a bunch of black people on the court and having them run up and down the court. I love that. Like, I was like, really? That's how we're honoring his memory? Like,
I love all that shit. I love Christmas Day. I love Christmas Day basketball. That's me and my mom watch it all day. And I love New Year's Day football. You know, like, listen, I love all that shit. But yeah, I love it. I love it too. Cause it's like,
I love an MLK Day ball. I just love it. It's just so like, you can see like the NBA executives, all white of them, going, how can we honor the fact that we have like a 95% black? I know. Let's have them play on a holiday where, in theory, they should be sitting at home and reflecting. So let's have them play, because Martin Luther King had a dream that the Knicks would win a game. So But
the players always want to play those games. Those are always the biggest, the highest rated games. They're national.
They get away from their children.
And they're national games.
Those are the
big high-profile games where stars are made. You know,
when they're on ABC, when they have the ABC right in a row. Oh my God! All right, segue number. Go, Court. I dare you to segue from that. I dare you. Oh, I know what you're going to talk about.
What about?
All right, I'm going to go out for coffee right now, and I'll come back when you're done.
So the Super Bowl is set, and I'm very excited. Listen, you all know, like, this is my portion of the show. So, Tom Brady.
Whoa! Just the football part of it. I check in for the other sports.
Do you? Well, yeah, you do. Only basketball, though.
No.
Like, you're a basketball girl.
I like other sports. I just don't like. It's not that I don't like football. I don't, honestly, can I say honestly, it's not something I was raised.
You don't like men with nice asses and tight pants running up and down?
No, I don't like a league that encourages brain concussions and is overtly racist, and I hate Tom Brady.
I don't like him either. So, like, really, I wanted Aaron Rodgers to win last night, but some of the moves that the coach made at the end and some really shady calls, and then now we have Tom Brady again, which versus Patrick Mahomes, which should be a good game. Listen, I think it's going to be a good game.
Where are they playing?
They're actually playing in Tampa, which is crazy.
Really? Wait a minute. I thought there was always a neutral spot.
Well, it always is. This is the first time in history that a team is playing a home game. They made it to the Super Bowl, so for them, it's a home game.
That seems very unfair.
But it just never happens that way. First of all, the stadiums are picked years in advance. No one could have known. Last year, this is the first time Tampa has even made it to the playoffs in 13 years. No one would have ever predicted that they would be playing in their own stadium, you know? Wow. It's going to be an exciting game. I'm excited for it. And then the weekend is doing the halftime show, and literally no one is talking about the halftime show. You know how there's always buzz around it? No one is talking about the halftime show.
We've had this discussion before where it is astounding to me that this guy sells as many records as he does, has as many ubiquitous pop hits as he does, and has. I just think he's unnerving. You're doing videos where your face is bloody. Now you're doing a video where you have plastic surgery. You're just like, I don't want to look at you. I mean, very seriously, you're a solo artist.
Right.
And I'm looking, you're like deliberately I don't know, it's a concept, whatever. But, you know, part of your job is to be appealing in some way.
Well, no, you know what? I don't have a problem with the art of it. I guess I just don't care.
Yeah, well, there's that too. I
love somebody who's going to give me I love somebody give me a full art moment. Hey, continue from one album to the other. I love all of that. I just wish I cared. And I used to, and I told you, I think you and I talked about this before. When he was doing those free mixtapes back in the day, he was the weird Canadian guy. I liked his music. I don't know. It's just. I think he's perfectly fine. He's non-offensive.
He's perfectly fine. And what kind of stage show is he going to have? What kind of stage show is he doesn't dance. I mean,
but he does bring a spectacle. I've seen clips of his shows. He is the person who will bring you a spectacle. But again, I just don't care. It just doesn't seem exciting. It's like, him again.
Like Katy Perry. Is it him and who? No, seriously. I don't care about her either, but she can't. I mean, he's more interesting in terms of style. Is it just him? Because sometimes they have other people on stage with him.
But usually the special guests are secret or they leak out. But because I think no one's even talking about him, it is him solo as an artist, but I'm sure he's going to bring some special guests out because he's been hearing all the noise where no one is excited about this. So he's going to have to really change people's minds and turn it out. Because like you said, he has the songs, right?
He does have the songs.
He has the songs.
Here's my predictions. Mm-hmm. I think Drake is going to show up.
That would make sense because they're both Canadian.
And they're both, who cares?
I also think my prediction is he's probably going to turn it out and everybody's going to be really surprised because when the expectation is this low and he's not boasting, I think he's actually going to turn it out because he is talented. And listen, I'm ready to be turned out and be like, I didn't expect this. Yo, you were dope. I would the expectations are low. It's a weird year to do the Super Bowl. I mean, this is our first pandemic Super Bowl because it is our first pandemic. Last year was Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, and everybody being offended like that. That was just too sexy for me.
Oh, no, that was great. That was great. But it'll be interesting. I mean, I think maybe in a weird way it's perfect for the times. Right. Whatever. Like I said, I have such Tom Brady's politics are so offensive to me. Let me tell you how offensive his politics to me. His wife, supermodel Gisele Bundchen, supermodel, I'm not Brazilian, I'm European, Bundchen. She is
I've never heard her say that. Has she said that?
No, but I'm saying it. Yeah, but she's Brazilian, like, there's no mestizo, there's no indigenous. She's like Bundchen, okay? Say no more. She's a wellness person now, and she does a thing on Inside Time.
I never thought about that until you just motherfucking said it.
Wait. So
that just dawned on me that, wait a minute, Bundchen is not really a Brazilian.
No, she's German. I mean, which is fine, but post-World War II, where did the people go? Let's go to another country. Anyway, long story short, she is a wellness person now. She does meditation, which is fine. I'm all for it. But she's on this site, Inside Timer, which does a lot of free offerings of meditation. And anyway, I was so livid to see her offering classes, considering this is a site devoted to finding peace, and I was going to go, hi, Insight Timer. You know that you have a woman who is complicit in Donald Trump teaching shit, but I decided to look into my Buddha nature and not be bitter, but I just find she's complicit.
I'm never going to make somebody take on the sins of their partner.
Why not? Was Ava Braun as guilty as Hitler?
Yeah, okay. But but there are.
I mean, I'm not saying Tom Brady is Hitler.
I'm
Everyone knows Hitler was not athletic.
I'm like, well, there's a few. I think there were a few spaces in between we could have gone before we got all the way to Ava and Hitler.
Braun was the first one that came to mind. All right, I'll back it up a little bit. But the thing is, you can be in a marriage and have different political beliefs. Mary Matlin and what's his face?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just think that I really draw the line, and again, I don't want to talk about him because I hate Trump. But I think that the Trump administration put the line in the sand. If you support Trump, and if you don't speak out against him, so she may be apolitical, she may be whatever, but I hate her husband.
I'm telling you, I know someone who was a big Trump supporter. Listened to him, believed all the things about coronavirus, and that person passed away of coronavirus. I feel like people, he to me, really, he needs to be convicted because the stuff that, there are 400,000 Americans dead, and there are still people running around saying it's a hoax. It's just blows my mind.
They're idiots.
Blows my mind. Blows my mind.
How many times they're idiots, and they're idiots. That's all. I can't. We've done everything we can do. Idiot. I don't know. Well, anyway, Tom Brady. Rah rah rah. I don't.
Yeah, so he's going to be there again. There's going to be a halftime show, but at least Jasmine Sullivan is singing the national anthem.
Oh, is she? That's fabulous. Good for her.
With someone else. It's going to be done as some sort of duet or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
Right. That's ridiculous. She can handle it on her own. Come on.
Absolutely.
Who does a duet on the national?
I don't know, child.
The song is like a minute and a half long.
They're always trying to do something with this TV show. Because remember, everybody forgets it's a TV show.
Right, but I'm like, who needs to do it's the national anthem? I mean, I can understand if you have one person singing America the Beautiful and then moving into whatever. I'm just glad. I'm glad that Jasmine is getting the nationwide shine. I'm very happy for her.
Can I just tell you that I am going to make a return to watching reality television next month?
I'm sorry. Why have you stopped?
Oh, because I think it's dumb. I just can't really fuck with it. I don't watch any of the Housewives, any of that anymore.
They're not good this year. They're not good this year.
But I am going to dip into this new season coming up of The Real Housewives in New Jersey. Because that looks good and raunchy and good.
They're horrible.
They're horrible, but I like those girls. And I haven't watched them in 3 seasons. So I feel like this is a good one to return to.
I tried with the best. I started watching the Salt Lake City one, and I thought, wow, they really started great. And it's just, I stopped about 4 shows ago because it was like they were on 100 each time.
I was about to say, they seem insane.
No, there were 2 women on that show who were certifiable. If you saw them on the street corner, and it was just too much, and it was just insane, and there's 2 women who look exactly alike, and I can't tell them apart, and I'm like, and her gay son who was so clearly angling for his own show, and did I tell you? Okay, so my best friend Candace and I decided to bite the bullet and subscribe for the Discovery Plus, the scam.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Okay. So, but they had
because they have all those 90-Day Fiancé spin-off shows. No, they do not.
It is a lie. Okay. So we did the free week. Right? So we did the free week. I gave her my password because I don't have time to spend $2.50. No, $5 was too much, but $2.50 split between somebody. Okay, so it's a scam because what they're doing is they're dropping the extra content week by week by week. So it's not like you can sit down and watch all this content. So we dropped it after 5 days. It was bullshit. And their interface is horrible. If you start watching,
the way they made it seem is we have all of these exclusive shows, little vignette series that they put on. No.
They do, but they're not giving it to you all at one time. You have to kind of and next week we're going to start this one, and then next week we're going to start that one. And a lot of them are just basically recaps of old shows. You can relive some of the old shows. But no, it pissed me off, and the interface is terrible because if you're watching it and then, God forbid, you get up and you pause it or stop it, you have to start, go back.
Oh, I hate those. That's old school. That's not even modern.
No,
Terrible.
so we're really pissed, Candace and I. We're really pissed, Discovery Plus. This is how you treat your longtime fans. But that said, we're thinking of now she'll go to the free trial at the end of the month, because we do see, and we each have several email addresses, so we're thinking of like possibly.
That's hilarious.
No, because I mean, you know, but I was really pissed because I was all ready for some quality bullshit. And I was like, really, Discovery? And when you turn it on, it like goes in and out, and it looks like.
Don't they have like the Magnolia Network on there? So you're getting like the.
No. I don't care about cooking shows. I don't understand the idea of a cooking show. I don't care. I'm just there for 90 Day Fiancé and all that stuff. And there's no pillow talks, which is why it just looks like Wayne's World, like the Wayne's World of reality TV. I'm mad. TLC, I am mad at you for wasting 5 days of my free trial, but I am going to be coming back at some point when we see more programming, and that's how I roll.
That's hilarious.
No, I was pissed. I was really pissed. I was like, oh my God, I've given you 4 years of my life. But anyway, what else were we, what were you thinking of? I've had like a sort of like nothing's been going. Oh, should I talk about my experience in the vaccine world?
Yes, talk about your experience in the vaccine world.
Well, I did get the first dose of the vaccine. Unfortunately, I now have a third eye in my forehead. It's a side effect. No, I have nothing. There is a microchip implanted in me now that Bill Gates and George Soros put in me. Just kidding. I got the first dose exactly a week ago. And by New York City standards, the procedures were excellent. Everybody working there was nice as pie. In and out in under an hour, really efficient. That needle goes in and you just feel like, oh my God, there's hope at the end of the something or other.
Right.
They made the second appointment for me, which is lovely because everything is online, which is fine. Of course, and then you're like, oh God, I hope they're going to have a second dose. But from what I understand, they're kind of holding that back because if you get the first dose without the second dose, it's a waste of time. But I will say
which is why
this.
they've been canceling appointments and stopping appointments.
Yeah, but I will say this, and maybe this is just people who are posting the fact that they've gotten the vaccine. I don't know. I find something about that a little distasteful because this is only 3% of the country has gotten this vaccine. Right. And it's a little like, and I didn't get it because I'm rich. I got it because I fall into a category being a teacher. But I find it a little kind of, look what I got. And it's like, I don't know.
And it's your medical information. It's kind of like...
Well, that's true, yeah.
It's like everybody acts like everything it didn't happen if they didn't put it on Instagram, you know what I mean, or TikTok.
So,
it's a little ridiculous.
I mean, it's one thing to post where you can get it. That's public service. But I just find it a little... It's good that people are saying... I mean, I had a sore arm for 2 days, which is like standard issue. But... yeah, I mean, obviously it should be available to everybody, obviously, hopefully, but someone made this really good point of like, the website was a little wonky here in New York and they said, well, maybe Andrew Cuomo, instead of, writing a memoir about how he saved the world from Corona, could have waited till after we're done with Corona, instead of...
But my issue, listen... And we liked him. He was on TV every day. But again, it's like, dude, we don't have enough doses here. So you need to be doing whatever you need to do to get them here and stay off of television.
Well, he's what my feeling about him is. I mean, he's like, he did his job. You know what I mean? Like, he did his job. He was funny. He was straightforward. But it was only in comparison to fucking Homie the Clown or Sideshow Bob.
Don't you love how everybody needs a pat on the job for actually doing their job?
Yeah,
it's like, what else were you supposed to do? It's your gig.
Oh, Mike Pence is so brave for certifying the election because that's his job. It's in the Constitution. That's like someone saying, oh my God, that teacher was so brave for coming into the classroom.
Oh my God. Can we talk about that for a minute? Can people stop with that bullshit? It's like, it's always like, when they talk about Lizzo, she's so brave. I'm like,
Well, yeah.
Is she supposed to hate herself? It's like, no one's brave just for being themselves. Like, let people be themselves. It's not brave for you to do your job. That's the job you were supposed to fucking do. Anyway, enough on that brave shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to know what's brave, Amy? Going to White Castle on 125th and 7th Avenue at 3:30 a.m. in the morning because you have to have it. That's motherfucking brave.
You know what's brave, Courtney? Getting all the dental work that I'm getting done right now at a time in my life where I no longer do drugs. That's brave.
Yeah, how have you been handling the pain of it? Just like Tylenol?
Advil, 800 milligrams. It's really funny, actually, because my dentist, who's lovely, who is a friend of my son's, always goes, sometimes I feel so bad because I go, oh, my God, I've just sent a really good friend of mine's mother out of here wanting to kill me. I go, yeah, no, I wanted to kill her. No. And so this last time he said, okay, now, because every time I go, is the pain going to be like that time where I was walking down Frederick Douglass Boulevard, literally stood in the middle of the street and went, oh, hell no, and turned around and went back and said, I need something immediately. He said, okay, this time it's going to be more like, okay, imagine like if an 8-year-old hit you, and I said, what's with the 8-year-old? And he goes, well, you know what, because an 8-year-old really can't hit you really hard. I said, Kareem, what you're saying is it's going to feel like somebody punched me in the mouth. And he goes, yeah. I said, all right, I don't care the age of the kid. Somebody punched me in the mouth. I am prepared for this. I curse you out on the train. Anyway, right. Hi. That's brave.
That's brave, kid.
That's brave.
That's motherfucking brave, okay?
Kids, when they tell you to go to the dentist, like on a regular basis, I think you should possibly do it. I'm paying the price, but that's okay. It's not like I needed my teeth for anything.
Well, Ames?
And I want to do it, Courtney. And speaking of being punched in the face, we're going to be changing the timing of this show. Oh, my God. Sorry. I just figured I owed you one.
I mean, it's so my shit. It's like, and by the way, there's a tsunami coming. Everybody run.
Michael, our friend Michael Gonzalez calls me the queen of the parenthetical thought. I'll start in something and go, oh, you know, speaking of the book I read, yesterday I broke my toe. What? All right. Anyway, why don't you tell them the good news, Court?
The good news is, I'm going to let you finish. We are now going to be a weekly show, kid.
And we're going to do GoFundMe to get better mics.
Hunty. Starting every Thursday, a new episode will be dropping. Yeah. And we're really going to get back to our music and culture roots and start getting into more shows where we even focus one show on maybe a producer, or one show on a full album and break it down from top to bottom, writers, producers, and going back to interviewing folks. You know, we were just starting, studios shut down because of COVID. Now that we realize, okay, top of the year, this is what it's going to be for the foreseeable future, because who's going into a shared studio space?
I'm not going into a shit. Right. It's hard with a double mask on.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we have less to be pissed off about so far this year. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to talk about he who shall not be mentioned as much.
Right. But give us time. We'll find something to be
No. I mean, I'm pissed off. I'm just doing it on the low. Oh, trust me. I'm always pissed off. Did you not hear me rant about Discovery Plus? Oh, trust. I can always find something to be angry about.
I'm angry because my Roku remote stopped working. And now, like, I can't use my Roku. I need to order a new remote for the stick. But the Roku remote for the stick is $21 when a whole new stick is $30.
So buy a new stick.
I know, but it's like all my shit's loaded on there and it's hooked up. I'm so pissed. Does anybody have a Roku remote? Send that shit to me.
Oh, my God. Well, somebody in my building who will remain nameless, because I decided to buy a new TV, because I like to buy a new TV every 35 years.
Wait, did you just get another new TV?
That's what I'm saying. That's the new TV.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm Elvis, and I have one in every room. He gave me one of those, like, magical codes. So basically, even though I have, like, Amazon and all that kind of crap, he gave me a magical code so I can watch, like, stuff where I don't have the channel, so I'm very excited.
Me too. It's all of my fucking Roku that I need a remote for. And I use the digital remote on my phone, but thank you, Spectrum, sent me a new modem that I did not know was coming, to be like, your modem is old, you have to switch it out. So I did that, which changed all the paths. I had to change all of my Wi-Fi stuff. So the Roku is still hooked to the other Wi-Fi. So without the physical remote, I can't connect the digital remote because they're on two different networks. It's a mess.
I'm confused. By the way, # first world problems, me and you both. Okay. People are starving.
Another friend of mine said that to me this weekend. He was like, that's the worst of it. I was like, listen, this is very upsetting.
No,
I'm
it's upsetting.
Listen, you're
talking to a woman who has literally been like, all I'm watching is my British shows, and now I have a really good friend of mine who's from Yorkshire, and now I understand why she is the way she is. In the best way. Now I understand it. All right, but anyway, we're going to be going weekly, which is really groovy. And that's about it. I mean, please, as always, stay healthy. Mind your P's and Q's.
Us everywhere. We're on Facebook at I'ma Let You Finish. We're on Instagram at I'ma Let You Finish NY. We're on Twitter at Finishama. We're here. We're queer. Get used to
you're
it.
Queer.
At least one of us.
Totally not queer.
We have one lady though. She's still looking good. She's got a good haircut. And listen, we're thinking you, Miss Thing.
Oh, this haircut is like, let me tell you something. Not for nothing. This haircut, like they can see it. Can you see my haircut? This haircut is like...
on Zoom. I saw it. It's
right, on the summer. No, I'm talking about the audience. Yeah. I got this haircut. This is my Groupon haircut. I got it in the summer. I have fucking great hair.
Yes,
that's
good.
all I do.
Listen,
I have great hair.
We're taking applications for single fellas who have their shit together, who have
we'll be waiting a long time for that. We'll be waiting a while. Maybe you want to lower your standards a little bit.
Well, for Amy, no Republicans need apply.
No Republicans. No, I won't even talk to you if you're a Republican.
She won't talk to you.
I won't even talk to you. I have no fucking time. No, it's a wrap. I won't even talk to you.
Might actually chase you with a bat down.
No, I would, with double mast. All right. Anyway, all joking aside, have a great week, and we will see you next week, and we'll be talking about some great albums from the past, and hopefully some new music will drop next week, and we can yabba dabba do about that, okay?
Deuces.
All right, bye guys.
It's NFL draft season, and that means it's time to start thinking about fantasy football. FantasyPoints.com features industry-leading experts and prognosticators using proprietary hand-charted data to help you score more fantasy points. FantasyPoints.com is the place to go for whatever kind of fantasy football you play. Whether you play fantasy football, daily fantasy sports, or do a little bit of everything, Fantasy Points has the meticulously researched content to guide you to victory. And why wait for the fall? Fantasy Points also covers the new spring football league, the UFL. Join the guru, John Hansen, Scott Barrett, Joe Dolan, and other massive names in the fantasy football universe with an exclusive offer. Use code Pantheon for 15% off any Fantasy Points package, including the all-in package, with access to every article, tool, and data nugget that Fantasy Points has to offer. That's FantasyPoints.com and code Pantheon for 15% off at Fantasy Points. FantasyPoints.com, code Pantheon. Score more fantasy points.